It's a play that you always heard about and you probably really don't know.
That's true.
And even if you do know it, you will not know this production.
Arthur Miller in this in his classic masterpiece of a work shows us 24 hours in the life of Willie Loman, who is a drummer, is a salesman who covers the New England territory. He's lived past the sales date of that position. It's not a community of comradeship and honor and loyalty. It is a very lonely, singular existence, and examines our ideas about the American dream, our ideas about family, our ideas about love, loyalty, parenting. Profoundly moving play that resonates deeply and has resonated deeply with audiences for 76 years, as Arthur Miller wrought it very personally, and so you recognize and see your own family in the play.
In another regard, the play is, like Michael was referring to, seems evergreen. It is.
All great writing does that. It has the capacity to take us, no matter from where we're coming, and find a place for us in that story. And it makes you think about your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your job, your failures, your fears, your dreams. It's just your accomplishments. It is so. I think. As was referenced, Arthur Miller was surprised when the play opened and everyone would come up to him and ask him, how did you know my father's story or my uncle's story or my story?
I can tell you this. I've been directing, I guess, professionally now for, I don't know, 35 years or something, and I don't think I've cried as much as I have in rehearsal as I have on this play. But that's also when it's working, because you're tapping into the essence, I think, of what Miller wanted us to look at.
I feel like I've always related to Willie. Like the spiritual panic of Willie is the most. It's like the most appropriate mirror of an internal condition that I'm afraid I'm in, right? It's like empty and frantic and really wanting to find the answer. And that vulnerability, we just see him wide open on stage. And yeah, he lies and he's got some other faults, but it's not that. It's that frantic sense of, I really need to find the answer. I really need to find it. And then planting seeds in the middle of the night, right? Trying to make something of life.
But Willie is used to being known.
And welcomed and remembered.
And loved and helped. And he's not anymore. And that's the problem. And that's the
big problem.
The crisis for his ability to make a living and to be still someone that he wants his sons to admire and be proud of, and to be able to leave a legacy to. And I think this gets back to why he's planting seeds. When you come see the show, you'll see he plants seeds in the middle of the night in a parched background where there's no light that's never going to grow, because he's desperate to leave something behind.
There are some people that might look at this play now through certain lens and say, oh, is he a common man tragic hero? Like, because that's the other big thing that happened here. Miller finally defined the ordinary American common man and made him a tragic hero. He didn't have to be royalty, he didn't have to be wealthy, like as he had been in all the Greek and European models. Is he that, or is he a loser? Because we live in a world of winners and losers now.
But Miller defended that.
Of course.
position by saying anyone, especially a person of smaller stature or lesser stature, who's willing to lay everything on the line for one thing, their name and their place, rightful place in the world, that makes, if you're willing to do that, you have stature.
Well, he's also willing to put all that on the line for his boys. You know,
But the end, you know, without spilling everything, there's
don't spoiler alert.
no spoiler alerts. Someone says to someone else, I'm a dime a dozen and so are you. And the father, Willie, says, I am not a dime a dozen. I'm Willie Loman. And you're Biff Loman. You're my son. You're more than just a common drummer. You're a human being.
The way I'm hearing Jeff play Willie, it's straight on. You don't feel like this is a guy with all sorts of like inherent trouble.
Because you can't dismiss it then.
Right. You can't dismiss it as just like a weirdo or someone who's like,
Right.
Jeff is playing it earnestly. Like, it, you know, he still has a lot of problems, but it just seems so earnest and it's so much stronger because of that. Yeah, I see what choices he's making. I see some of that. But I also see, oh, what kind of world are we in where this is where a senior ends up?
Jan Chambers has developed a space that is theatrically, to me, very exciting. You're going to come in, audiences are going to think there's no set. And then, not unlike what Harry Potter and the Cursed Child does on Broadway, there's going to be a lot of suddenly like 19th century theater magic that comes to bear that Netflix can't touch.
The theater is inherently dedicated to creating communal space where we all belong, where we feel we belong, where we tell stories that bring us together. This is one of those plays.
That sense of belonging, a sense of recognition of this family, which will be very different or maybe much alike for audience members, but they will recognize and feel a part of this family and feel a part of the dysfunction of that family and in the love of that family and most importantly in the striving of that family to try to make it better than it is and failing and succeeding and then failing some more. And I think seeing a family struggle is heartening. It's like,
Because you're not alone.
I'm not alone.
Right.
Oh, their family too. Yeah, man. So I think that I'd buy a ticket for that. I want to feel seen. All I can say is working on it is revelatory. I feel closer and closer to myself, to my fellow human beings by doing it, working on it. I feel strangely good, even though, yeah, we cry a lot, and because it's moving, it's funny, it's moving, but it is affecting. There's a truth that we keep smacking our shins against, and by gum, it's just real.
Right? You're going to want to hug your brother at the end of this, I think.